What, are we live?
Yes, we are.
Okay, great. So I will make a introduction of this side event. So thank you for joining us. The next side event is from Bosch Security and Safety System, designed in 60 minutes for advanced solutions by Nino Belitsky, Gabor Šuć, and Florin Bučur. I hope so that I pronounce right and correct your names. Gentlemen, welcome, and stage is yours.
Hello, dear ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bosch Design in 60 Minutes for Advanced Solutions session. Our goal in this presentation is to show you the tools that we are creating primarily for the designers and consultants to make their life, easier, and that they can do their job, in a more professional way and quicker. I don't know if you can see my first slide. Today presenters are Mr. Florin Bučur from Bucharest. He will be presenting BIM platform and what Bosch can offer for the BIM users. Mr. Gabor Šuć is from Budapest, and he is our pre-sales application design engineer for the video systems. And first presentation will come from me. I'm Nino Belitsky, and I'm in Bosch pre-sales engineer for fire and PA systems. As you can see, we don't have too much time, but thanks to our tools, you'll see that we have more than enough time to make even a big project in this session. So let me first start with the fire tool. It's called Safety Systems Designer. With this tool, which is totally free of charge, and you can download this from our website, you can make really very fast configuration and design of Bosch system, and be totally sure that everything will work in field when the engineers start installing the system and commissioning.
Nino,
yes.
Nino, sorry, the presentation is still not visible. Please try resharing it again, and we are going to give you the feedback whether is it visible.
It's not visible. Okay, thanks. It's being loaded.
I would like to ask colleagues, please feed us back shortly externally whether you can see it.
Can you see it, Gabor?
Not yet. Just a second, please. Just a second.
Okay. So I'm in the office, so the internet speed is quite good, so it should work well. And I'm having information it's loaded, so I don't know.
Please wait a bit, still getting informations from external.
Okay.
Do you share the correct screen, Nino?
I have only one screen.
Okay.
So it must be this one.
Still, they can see your image only. From your camera, not the presentation.
Just a second.
I'm actually seeing the presentation. I don't know if this helps, but I'm seeing
see the presentation.
Yes, the first slide, the design in 60 minutes for advanced.
Exactly.
Okay. Gabor, can you see it?
No, it's the second slide. Yeah.
Yes. So Gabor, maybe it's on your side.
Okay, I will check just a moment. Still not visible, as they say, my colleagues. I think we as panelists can see the presentation content, but externals does not see anything else. So asking to stop sharing and try sharing again, please.
Okay.
Nino, are you sharing this presentation at the moment?
I just unloaded it, and actually in this moment I think I'm not. I cannot do anything.
You are the presenter at the moment.
Just a second. I lost the icon to. Okay. Maybe this will help. Just a second.
We see your screen now, yeah. So we're gonna check the live stream now.
Okay. Is it okay now?
There's a 5-second delay.
It works now. Yes, I got the indication from colleagues that it is fine.
Okay. Thanks. My mistake. I was sharing the file.
Okay. Okay.
So now we have to speed up just to have some time for real case. I suppose you were able to hear me. So we are the presenters you can see here. For the safety systems designer, it's a quite good free of charge tool that can give you the fire design in 30 minutes, with which you can be fully sure it will be fully operational after the commissioning. It has several, let's say, parts inside. One is the system configuration with all the data about the panels, loops, and everything. The other one is the data outputs, because you can have a lot of exports from the software. And the last one is also the system drawings. And in the future, you can also expect possibility to import and export some DVG drawings. So everything is going to the direction that you are using this platform as a base of the fire design. What are the benefits? The most important for the consultants is actually, let's say, faster planning, because you can go to the meeting and you can very quickly show to the client what they see in the designing phase. And also for the designers, as I mentioned, a lot of tools, notes, advices, and so on. We have been developing this tool for 2 years. You can go to the microsite of the safety systems designer, to the Bosch portal. After the installation, you are getting this screen for the registration. Somebody of us, Florin or we are getting the registration email, and you can start working in 15 minutes. Also, very important thing within the window, as you will see in the example, you are having direct links to the datasheets which are under Bosch project catalog, which means you don't have to lose time to collect all the documents that you have to provide together with the main design. Also for the integrators, there is a quite good option, I think, which is called auxiliary power sources. So this is the export in which installer can also see what to connect to which power supply for which conventional model. In the bill of material view, you can always see what is going on as you add items to the design. These are the Bosch codes, so later the sales guys can also take these Excels and make the order with all the components which are needed for the commissioning. So last year we added Serbian language. So at the moment from the SAR region, we have Hungarian, Croatian, Serbian, Romanian, Bulgarian, Greek. I think I didn't forget something else. And also we have some other languages from the round, of course, English, Italian, French, which means that if you are a designer or consultant, also to some other country and do your job. I will show you some phases of the development of the software. So first we added the networking part, which was always very complex due to N54 requirements on Bosch side. So the software is automatically adding everything which is needed to be fully compliant with N54. It's a small tab, and when you jump to that, you see everything which is in the network. After that, we moved to version 1.3. We added a lot of stuff in this period. One of these was wireless gateway. So we extended last year our offering with the wireless subsystem. Also, we added better loop length calculation, which means that you can really see what is going on the field, what you can do with the cabling. And we started changing some power calculations. Everybody who is working with Bosch knows that we are very on the safe side on every level, always. So that's like in fire systems. But we started changing and adding some options that you can decrease the number of the power supplies in the batteries, which is usually not needed in SAR region. Very important thing is if you pick the country Germany, you're automatically switching to the VDE regulation, which means that whatever you are going to do in this software, it's fully following German standards. So if some designer is hired to do some fire design for the Germany, the person can also be sure after this export that it's according to the German standards. I will skip some parts which I will show you in the real case study. In the point 1.4 part, which happened last year, Area Summit in Skopje, we added this new EN5423 sounder base with beacon, which is going to be released, I think, in next month into the sales. So you can already start designing this product as well with the safety systems designer. After that, we also added fire brigade equipment also under the German countryside, which is getting more and more important also for our region. I think, especially in Croatia and in Serbia, there are some tendencies to go to improve the fire brigade alarming, and maybe you can also learn from this tool how to do it. And finally, we also added not only key deposits, but indicators, which were missing in the first 2 years. From this year, we jumped, of course, on the new LNR panel. So everything which is added to the latest 2.1 version is fully in accordance with the end of the life announcements of the FPA panel, and you're getting warnings about the changes. Like we don't have any more ADC cards. We also are going to put end of the life some boards in several languages, and the software is giving you information what is the new product. So. Also, we'll skip this part. We added finally conventional model, which is in the panel side, so you can also do some replace some conventional sites with Bosch panel, of course. This is also very important. This mark is a buffer which was adding several pairs of batteries always to the design, which was according to the VDS regulation. If you remove it, finally you can have less power supplies in your system. It's additional to the changes that we had last year. And very important thing is I think product availability. So you are getting information as soon as you open the Sage Systems Designer. What is the status of the products? So, for example, this one is end of life, which means that you cannot use it and you have to pick another device in the system. For example, this linear heat detector has limited stock, so probably will end of life that also. And this product is still not available, but is coming soon. I will now show you also some tools that we have for the PA part, and after that we will jump to the fire design in the SSD. So for the PA, I would recommend that you download the loudspeaker selection app. It's a very excellent free of charge tool for iOS and also for Android platforms. You have a filters inside, and you can quite easily select the best speaker for your application. Also, we are having some other apps. For example, Decentis and the Decentis Wireless Sales app, which is giving you information about the products, that what you can do with the features. And the same with, for the Planometrics. We have some range of the Excel-based calculators. The latest one is the Presensa. So if you would need any help or if you need these tools, you can contact us or you can check our product catalog. Also for the Decentis Wireless, which is coming more and more into the use because of these changes, remote meetings and so on. So you can also check out the Decentis Wireless tool, which can help you to design quickly the system, which can be connected to the Zoom or Skype or any other platform and make better meeting feeling, let's say. Let's jump to the Sage System Designer directly. So I will just make one short example. And of course, you can contact us anytime and we can help you directly on meetings one-to-one. So this is the starting screen. If you go to the options, you can always set what are your default settings of your software, what is the default cable buffer, but everything can be changed later during your work. In the country area, as I mentioned, if you pick, for example, Germany, you are getting an additional mark, which means that whatever you do in the software from onward, from this onward, it's fully VDE based and regulated, and also it's quite close to the VDS. I will go back to Croatia. So if you open the new project, you can see the starting screen. Whatever is blue in the right side, you are getting information on the left side about this product and these options. Here I can change. For example, if I want, I can go to the 32 panel 8000 series. If I press plus, I can add some new models. For example, sounder control model. So whatever is blue, it's active. I can mark this notification plans on model 1 with a plus, and I can add sounders. If I would add something, do something which is not possible technically, in the lower part, we are always getting these informations. It can be, of course, the overload because of the lack of the power, or maybe some system limits or some other technical limits. So I still have this, so I have to put, for example, 5. In the right side, you can always see what is the maximum of for that unit on the system level, on the panel level, on the model level. And the column here, which is second to the right, you can see what is actually in the system. So I can start adding to the loop some items, let's say 50 detectors. We can add also remote indicators, let's say it's a 10. After that, I can go to plus, I can add some thermal detector. For the lobby, I can add maybe ultra flat design Bosch detector. In the manual call points, we can also add some manual call points. Here on the lower part, you have all the accessories which are related to this product. So we can also add spare items. In the bill of material list here, this is a BOM and it's automatically filled with everything which was added in this, let's say, working dashboard part, including all the models which are in the Bosch modular panel, which usually it's hard to count. The rails, the cables, everything is calculated automatically with this software. We can add something else. For example, we can add input-output models. With the real outputs, I can say how many I'm using. Let's say 4. And also we can add the aspiration detector. For some elements like aspiration detector, we can pick in the lower part what is the power supply output. We can use the panel, or we can say it's external power supply unit. As you can see here, as soon as I change to the external power supply unit, we received another box on the wall. You can use Control-C, Control-V. So I will just add several loops at the same time. So this is another node for the N54 requirement. Then I can jump back to the panel. If it's 2 towers, I can copy the first tower and make the second panel with the same content and later change some items inside. In the networking part, you can choose the type of the networking. If I go with Ethernet, with the fiber optics, I will get additional modules which are needed for this task. Also now we can add some items like BMS here. We can add remote services router, and still everything is in the bill of material list. In this part, you can see some templates which are giving you some, let's say, design regulated stuff like loops parameters. This is the list of all loops, the loads, cable resistance, possible loop length with this load. If you are using aux supply, what is that value? Also, I'm here using panel batteries. So for the panel 1 and panel 2 now we have the same. Of course, we would have different type. We can change standby time to more common 72 hours. And we can export. Here you can export in all the languages which are supported. I will use English. So this is the example of how it looks like. This is just the export that you can copy paste to your design and you're done. Also in the bill of materials list, as you can see here, we can choose the category or the panel. If we go by the panel, that means that if I export this specification, I can see 2 different specifications in one Excel related to the panel 1 or to the panel 2. Or if I go to the category, I can see the sum of everything which is in the design. So the sales guys can then copy D column and the quantity column to Bosch ordering form, and they can already see what is the recommended price of this project. Also here we have tender text. We left all the Bosch product namings, which is required usually for the public tenders. So you can also now change to some other language. Let's go to, I don't know, we can go to Hungarian. This is automatically changed to Hungarian, and we can export this in Word. So all the elements which are now in the project are here. At the end, we have the JPEG export. You can export the 3 view. list. Also, you can pick the language here. This is in Croatian now. Or you can show the networking view. Again, you can export this picture. And you can just copy paste this picture to your design, and also the networking part of the design is done. So in 15 minutes, we managed to prepare a full specification, which is fully operational. You can always control it in this part here. What is the potential loop length according to the cable diameter and to the load? This is the load. This is the number of the elements. If you want to change something, you can always go back. For example, I can use the ticker cable 1.5, and you can do some other changes. Then I can make save as. I can put it as version 2. So I can send this file to anybody that can start working or continue working on its project. I think we are out of the time for the safety part. Of course, you can contact me or Florin Bukur for the safety systems whenever you need. I would like to move to give a floor to the colleague Florin, who will show you the BIM platforms. Florin, I think you can take over.
Okay, thank you, Nino. Thank you for the nice introduction. Good afternoon from my side. My name is Florin Bukur. I'm application designer for EMEA in Bosch. I will talk to you about BIM for this afternoon. I hope everything is visible on my presentation.
Thank you. It's visible, Florin.
Okay, thank you. Great. So what is BIM? BIM, or Building Information Modeling, is the whole process that allow us to do the planning, construction, and management throughout the whole life cycle of a construction of a building. So BIM, it's not a software, BIM, it's not a model, it's not a 3D model, it's the entire process, because it allows us to go through all the phases from the planning throughout the, logistic management of the of a live building, of a live project. So why it's BIM important, and how are the challenges now in the industry? Of course, there is data that is traveling through, let's say, from one stakeholder to another, to the whole complete process of this design and management of the building. Sometimes this data is incomplete. Sometimes not everything reaches the right stakeholders. So from our estimations, there is there is about 20% increased cost due to all these obstacles and miscommunication that happens throughout this cycle of designing and planning. So BIM, it's coming to meet this and actually be the common platform, the center point where all the stakeholders can actually communicate and share data about this project. What are the benefits of BIM? Of course, we can, first of all, we can have, let's say, reliable budget planning, and we can optimize the costs during this faster project completion. And of course, we can detect conflicts in the situations that can appear in the construction site. For example, we can see that the pipe is crossing a beam or another element of the construction that could not actually be possible in reality. So having all the systems, all the construction elements of the building inside one file actually can result in this checking of conflicts and other mishaps that could happen during the planning and the construction of the targeted building. Of course, that could also actually happen that fewer accidents can happen during the construction phase. So what is the software landscape for BIM? There are several softwares and platforms available that could actually help us in this project. Of course, we have the modeling programs. One of the most popular in our region is Autodesk Revit that we can use, and this is also what I will share with you in a minute. In a practical example of a project, but of course there are other softwares like ArchiCAD or Bentley. Then again, we have databases or libraries of objects that can provide us with the family for the objects we use inside the modeling. One of the most popular, of course, is BIM Object. We, as Bosch, were also present in this BIM Object library, but we decided that we're going to host for ourselves the objects that we can provide. I will come to that bit in a minute. Then we have different other libraries. There are a lot of them. For example, NBS, National BIM Library in UK, or MAP in the Netherlands, and so on. And again, we have processing tools, the third category of softwares that are quite many on the market and help us with different tasks like what I was telling earlier about, for example, collision detection inside the model or different other specific tasks. Why to use BIM in security and safety? First of all, there are territories all around the world where it's mandatory to use BIM, and generally in the public projects, but not only. This is a very dynamic, let's say, environment, and more territories are already adhering to this to these regulations to use BIM as a standard for, let's say, the design phase, at least in the new projects. So this also would be very interesting, maybe in the late, in the end, when we have the question and answer session, maybe you also can give us some feedback on what is the situation in your country, how this changing, or what is your knowledge about these regulations. What can Bosch deliver in the BIM context? And this is actually where we come to meet your needs related to BIM. First of all, we have a Bosch BIM website that you can find. It's a public website, of course. When you go to boschsecurity.com, you will find in the support tools, you'll have a BIM micro website where you can actually see all the Revit files that we have available. The website itself, it's in 12 languages, but the files are only in English. So you have all the categories there for all the types of, let's say, systems where you download families for, like security, video, of course, intrusion, access control, fire detection systems, and public address. So they are structured in this way, and you can actually download them for free there. The other way is if you go to our public product catalog, whenever a product has a Revit file available, you will see that BIM icon. So you'll find it in the product page, and that means that in the download section, you'll find the Revit file available for download. So we can actually download for each product from the catalog page. Moving on, let's see what we can actually do with this. And I used the video business unit with the video surveillance as an use case. So you can see right here a model of a building where we place the camera, and you can actually see the field of view of the camera. I will go through this in a minute in practice, just so we can make a practical example. And also, you can actually generate from the 2D view to the 3D view, and actually a 3D projection of what the camera actually will see in the field of view. So yeah, this is One more thing that I want to show, this is what you can actually generate with just one click from Revit. You can generate a so-called schedule, it's called, but it's a more, let's say, in easier terms, it's like a bill of materials that you can get with all the parameters and all the quantities of the objects, of the BIM objects that you placed in this specific project. So you can generate this, and this is of course the next step from moving from the 3D planning to the next maturity levels of using BIMs like 4D, which includes the timeline, or 5D, 12D operating and live data from the project. So this is this is for short my presentation, and now I would like to actually try to move to a practical example. If I can stop sharing the screen, maybe. No. Okay. So we have here a live example for a building project. It's just a mock-up project, of course, and we can actually see. I will try to start with a top-down view. We place the camera, and we see the field of view for this camera in this example. Of course, you can generate, for example, floor plans. You can actually do the design in 2D, but more interesting is that you can actually see it in 3D. You can see how this camera that we have here, we can select it. It's projecting its field of view on the model. So basically, what we see now, it's a so-called Dory field of view. So basically, you have the levels of identification that camera can see. You can enable it or disabling, of course. And we have a so-called manual field of view that you can actually see, which is based on the, let's say, manual resolution that you can input. In my case, it's, for example, 250 pixels per meter, but you, of course, can change it. You can, for example, if the desired is 500 pixels per meter, then you can show the field of view for this resolution. So this is depending on what you want to actually see with the camera. Of course, you can pan, tilt camera, you can adjust the height, everything that you can do in the planning tool. But what I want to show you in the, let's say in the end, it's another feature that it's done, let's say not for all the cameras now, but the plan is to implement it for all the cameras in Bosch portfolio, is this 3D view generator, which you can use. You can activate it, you can select one camera, and from that, you can actually generate the 3D view of what this camera will see. Of course, you can change the rendering mode from a simple sketch to a realistic rendering of this. And this way you can make sure that the placement of the camera, it's what you can actually seek in reality in your project. All this information can be saved, of course, and when you pass the project to somebody else, it's going to contain everything that you generated. So that's, from my side, a small introduction, let's say, on the BIM world. And if you have any questions, or if you need guidance towards this, please do not hesitate to contact us. We are more than happy to guide you throughout, let's say, designing with BIM objects provided by Bosch. Thanks a lot, and I will pass now the stage to Gabor to continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Florin. and welcome for everybody. This is Gabor Sücs. I'm also solution consultant, and as we have divided our content, I'm going to share with you some information on video tools, let's say. So that's the main target. So actually, please just shortly feed me back, Florin, whether my presentation is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you so much. So generally, as we have shared the content or the information, we split the infos by BUs, let's say. And we started with the specific tool from safety perspective, the designer tool itself. Then we lead to the security and safety field with BIM objects. And right now we are landing again to the security territory, let's say, and concentrating on the video part. I would like to split the presentation to two main parts as well within video also, which is specifically contains some infos on how to select, how to handle our products and the main features included. And also at the end of my presentation, I would like to generally speak again a bit deeper on learning management system, in which the previous presentation from my colleague Kosho Karu-Laurențiu has already mentioned. So this is roughly within the upcoming 15 minutes, and we would like to also keep some time at the end to have some questions and answers. So if generally we need to talk about the video tools and let's say design guidelines, we can say that the most important part at the very beginning, how to be familiar within our video product portfolio, how to get access to the most important features from our cameras, recorders, or system features generally. And as soon as it is done, how we can get closer to the specific parts of it. Good news that by now our web page contains a unified part for all the apps and tools. So as soon as you would like to get access or to be closer to all such details, which gives you a helping hand in your daily work, please visit our website, and under the support tab, you will find the gathered apps and tools part, which gives you the indication what are the latest available online portfolio. So just simply jumping on that, as I mentioned, I will start with the video parts. I won't have enough time to be detailed in every respect from these tools. But first of all, I would like to redirect your attention to the product selector itself, and not just basically on the product selection itself, but giving you the indication how we can use it very practically on our everyday job. So as soon as you would like to check, for example, the Bosch cameras, you see that recently we have more than 100 models available from different aspects. It's not an easy job to start planning with so many models. So we have the ability to categorize the models first if we are targeting or approaching the solution from the feature set perspective. Or the other option, what we very frequently meet from end users' perspective or from system integrators' perspective, that they would like to see exactly compared technical features from dedicated models. So it's hard to explain sometimes what are the main differences if we select, for example, two different kind of flexidoms or two different type of cameras at all. But it gives you an indication that if you are familiar with the features, but you would like to make it somehow plastic, with the simple compare functionality, we can very easily get closer to the specific feature set for a dedicated camera, or doing a comparison of pre-selected models and with a single click creating a PDF on that. Small piece of tool, I know, but very useful in the daily job, getting familiar with the models and making such type of comparison. Please use it and be familiar where to find, let's say. The second option, what we can show here is, let's say, the IP recording option. So similar to the cameras, as soon as we are talking about the recording solutions, we have so many different type of models where, again, the most important remark, how to highlight the most important advantages, what to show, what would be the main feature set. What I've mentioned during the cameras option, this is fully true here as well. So you can compare these type of models as well, or make a feature-based analysis, or do such kind of comparison easily. So that's it about mainly the product selector part, or the camera and recorder selections. And let's go back again to the tools. What else we can find here? The product overview and the accessory guide I would skip. I think it's obvious what to use from this perspective, but let's spend some time on video analytics example tool. BIM, I think, was a good platform to lead our attention, not just specifically to the camera models as well, but as Florin has mentioned already, containing such Doric criteria from the covered area, from detection up to the identification, and I will spend some time on this DARI. What does it mean in reality? But very closely to the angle of view or the visibility, we got to point here the most important features of our cameras, which is video analytics itself. Video analytics is available in the entire Bosch camera portfolio. We don't have any model by now which would not contain Ascension analytics or intelligent video analytics. And beside the functionality that we are talking about, it's also important to make it somehow plastic, what kind of functions you can find within analytics. And this kind of tool is giving you a helping hand on how to demonstrate it. So it's a downloadable option with video analytics part, and as soon as you start, it gives you an indication and leads you through all the available features of the analytics. But from the functionality perspective, for example, no parking zones. What does it mean from camera perspective? Giving you a short intro in a video, how the camera angle of view look like, what kind of areas you can nominate, how the alarms are generated, or what kind of loitering functions we have in our camera. What does it mean from alarming perspective? And the same functionality like left object detection or people counting. Every single part is demonstrated by a short video as well, which gives you the indication and the visibility. Perimeter protection is another topic in which this tool is leading you through, but you can find also line crossing options within, let's say, large areas like stocks. We can dedicate intelligent tracking functionalities, and if you check all such details, even the machine learning based functionality is demonstrated by our cameras. For example, how to check, for example, occupancy in the parking lots, and the object detections are on a very higher advanced level, or even how to learn to the camera different states of static objects, like within this video, a closed state of a barrier. So if you would like to see more about the video analytics, please use such a kind of tool as well. And this way you will be able to demonstrate this functionality also. The second main part of our tools online are the calculation tools. I won't have so much time to demonstrate them one by one, but let me select one of them which is closely related to the video content analysis and refers to the previously mentioned feature, which is called this Video Analytics and Lens Calculator tool. What does it mean, and what's the main benefit of using such type of tool? If we have the selected camera model to be used, if we know that what kind of specific feature from video content analysis we would like to implement, then this kind of tool gives you the indication that on the specific installation area, what will be the probability of your detection, what kind of distances you will be successfully implementing video content analytics, and what are the actual limitations. It does not do more than giving you the option selecting specific cameras, whether it's fixed or auto dome, whatever. As soon as you select it, you are able to check also what type of lens you have, what will be the target object to be checked, and what are the settings like camera installation height and resolutional conditions. Calculation gives you the results, a side view and a top view result. What will be the angle of view and what will be the rough distances. And also from video analytics perspective, the active, inactive areas and the exact values below. What will be the distance to be checked from this height, minimum, maximum detection range, and the probability of detection from this perspective. And the DORI criteria here again with explanation that from detection up to identification, what will be the distances and what will be the pixels per meter to be checked by the cameras to fulfill these requirements. So please use it as one global available possibility from product selection up to the feature selection to the exact calculation itself. Hopefully it will give you the right indication what and where to use, let's say. The last part, within the last few minutes, I would like to redirect your attention beyond the tools on our own training academy. Why is it important? Of course, it's important to know how to touch our system components, the models, the feature sets, and calculation itself. But as we are a manufacturer where from complete systems you can buy and install and implement, the system topology and the entire complex topic behind and the concept of a system working could not work without deep technical knowledge, not just on product or feature level, but on the entire system level. That's why we have our own Bosch Security and Safety Academy, on which I would like to give you a very short overview, but hopefully a good indication to redirect your attention. This is our platform. This platform is an online platform, what we use for trainings and FEL and also for certifications. We are going to come back to this topic later. What does exact certifications means and what kind of levels we have? Important that especially during these actual COVID crisis, we have all the online trainings available on that. So not just only the certification itself, but any kind of practical knowledge that you would like to get in terms of functionalities or deeper technical part, you will find thousands of uploaded content that you can start and learn anytime. As soon as we are talking about classroom trainings as well, this is the platform on which you can assign for such trainings. And via the skills or certificates, you will have the dedicated courses and skills available. What kind of certification levels we have during the entire scope of Bosch security and safety systems? We have three main certification levels. The lowest level is the professional one. This is mainly covering online courses, which is the entry-level course, let's say, and we would like to redirect also commercial colleagues' attention to that. The second is the expert level training, which is combining the online and the classroom trainings, which gives you also and already system level competencies. And the highest possible skill to be reached from a system perspective is master. So these three levels are building next to each. The prerequisites to fulfill one is always having a previous version completed. And as you can see from the indication, it combines the online trainings, the classroom trainings, and the issued certificates. So you will find what type of groups we warmly, let's say, suggest to be participated. Expert mainly for professional is for the beside the system integrators, distributors. We recommend for consultants and let's say commercial colleagues as well. Expert and master are mainly for the technical staff of a dedicated company. So please use, beside every single training type, you will see an exact learning path, how to go through on that, what kind of modules are implemented, and then what's the way of reaching the required skill you need. So the end is getting a certification, which always an e-certification, and within your profile it will be available, uploaded for your convenience available, and it's always dedicated and remarked with a QR code, which is a unique one and gives the indication of its validity and availability of your, let's say, valuable skill. The site itself, as I mentioned, online, you can reach it on this link, academy.globalteach.com, and you will find specific contents. Please freely register, contact us if you need anything, and we will let you get access to this specific content inside. So that's all from my side regarding the video tools, just such rough estimated short overview, and even the learning management system. From my side, I think I can say with all of my colleagues' name as well that thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any question, please just let us know to be able to answer that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Here we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you once again. Thank you for your participation and a very, very good presentation. Thank you, Nino. Thank you, Forin. If anyone has any question, please be free to provide us, or you can meet Forin, Nino, and Gabor today or tomorrow on a Security Summit virtual event, and you have option to request a meeting with the
Exactly.
guys. So if we don't any question, we have to go forward. Thanks again, and stay with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Enjoy Sadira, guys. Bye.